Hey, I wanted to just hop on and share a few social media tips because social media is really one of the best tools to grow your business. 99.9% of my business has been built through social media, and I would definitely not be where I'm at today as a diamond without it. When I got started with Plexus, I had a very small network, very small group of friends, went to a small church, lived in a small town. I was introverted and just stayed at my house a lot with my baby. I didn't have a lot going for me network wise, and social media is what helped me to be able to reach so many more people. And so it's really cool what can be done utilizing social media, and more specifically Facebook. That is where I personally have grown my business, and so just wanted to share my some 10 tips to just help you with if you're choosing Facebook. This is kind of like a side note, but choose what social media you're going to focus on to be excellent at. It can be hard to do both if you're doing like Instagram and Facebook or whatever other one. And so I think it's a wise thing to choose one. Whatever one you feel like is going to help you the most, that you enjoy, that's going to give you the best growth. For me, that's Facebook. And so I'm going to give you 10 tips to help you with growing your business through Facebook. So the first one is the 60-40 rule. I personally think that the 60-40 rule works really well. And that is posting 60% of the time you're posting about things outside of Plexus. So about your life, etc. And then the other 40% is about Plexus. I just think that's like a good balance. And that might sound like maybe that's a lot of Plexus, but I promise you it's not, especially with how the algorithm is. Usually at any given time, about 10% of your network is seeing your content. That's not good odds for people to see all of your Plexus posts. And so I just think it's really important to have a good percentage of Plexus posts that you're sharing about the products, about the opportunity. The second thing is what makes you you. This is going to help you with your content for what you post on your Facebook. When you think of what makes you you, when your friends talk about what they think of when they think of you, what are those things? Take the top 3 to 5 things, and that is what you can use to create your content around. For example, I'm a police wife, I'm introverted, I'm a mom, I'm pregnant with my 4th baby, so mom life. So what makes you you? I'm a foodie. I love to post about fancy bougie coffee shops that I experience and where I found them. So think about what makes you you, and then you're going to use that to create your content around, so that you have kind of a brand of who you are. You do not have to be like someone else to be successful. Your best superpower is you being you. I promise you that. And so just write it down. What makes you you? What are you going to kind of focus your social media content around? That's going to be super helpful to help you have an intentional, just a focus with what you're doing instead of being all over the place. The third thing is utilize your stories daily. Sometimes people will just get on the stories bubble and they'll just click through stories and watch all the stories. There's days that I like to do that, and they're not even seeing the Facebook posts. And so the stories, I feel is such a great way to just engage with your network, build relationships, and share more about Plexus as well. I like to share about life and Plexus every day in my stories, at least 5 days a week. And so I'll just share thinking what can I add, what can I post that would add value. So if I have a tip, if I'm doing a DIY and there's a tool that helped me do it, I'll share about that in my stories. That's adding value, because then if someone else wants to do that too, they'll know what tool to use. Sharing about what we're doing, what's going on, our day, and then sprinkling Plexus in there somehow, maybe about getting paid that day while I'm out running around with my kids, or about my pink drink or about how it's helping me with pregnancy, whatever it is. I like to post about both things in my stories every day. It's just I've helped so many people get started because of my stories, like them just seeing things that I'm sharing about in my stories. The fourth thing is engagement. One of your number one goals with social media is getting your network to engage with your posts, with your stories, because engagement equals making the algorithm happy. Like, the algorithm loves engagement. It tells them people want to see your stuff, and so they are going to go and make sure more people can see your stuff. And so the more engagement you have, the more eyes you get on your posts and your content. And so like an example of an engagement post, like, you want people to be commenting or clicking on your polls in your stories, but mostly like the comments from your posts or your live videos is what is going to get the best, give you the best engagement. And so if like asking a question, people love to give their opinion. Asking a question to do with something around your brand, of like your top 3 to 5 things that make you you. Like, maybe you need to know if the best like way to organize your, I don't know, just throwing something out there, or like just asking a question. Or sometimes I'll ask like fun things like, what's one movie you would never watch again? And people just love to answer that question, and that gets people commenting. And so engagement posts are super important. The fifth thing is growing your network. This is really, really important, because if you're not growing your network, at some point you'll just run out of people who are interested in Plexus, who you're talking to, and your conversations will start to dry up. And so growing your network is key. I was a gold when I got to a place in my business where I literally had no one else to talk to about Plexus. And that is when I learned how to grow my network through Facebook groups. I have a video specifically on this in my YouTube. Go watch it if you need some tips on how I did that through Facebook groups. And then that is what helped me keep moving up and eventually get to Diamond. And so another way to grow your network is looking at like friends you may know, like that suggestion Facebook gives you of like, oh, you may know this person. I've totally made lots of friends that way as well. And so just growing your network, 3 to 5 new friends a day is a good amount to aim for. Sixth thing is take time to build relationships by engaging with your network. And ways I love to do this is through stories. I like to watch stories and reply to them, because that goes right into their inbox, and then it's like a conversation you're having with them. And so whatever their stories is about, I like to comment on it. Another way is like commenting at least 4 words or more on someone's post, wishing happy birthday. But also it's a good idea if you tend to get sucked into like the Facebook world of just like scrolling and engaging, set your timer. 10 minutes is a good amount of time to engage, 10-15 minutes. And that way you're not just like spending all your time doing that, because yes, it's important, but that's not like the number one thing that your time needs to go to. And so then the 7th thing is video content is one of the number one things right now with social media. It's what people like to see. They like to see your face. They like to see you talking. That's why like getting in your stories and talking is so important. Like you talk like it's like your friend that you're at coffee with, and you're telling them what's happening. Like you're talking like from you to one person. You're not talking to like everyone, you're just talking to one person. And it's just like like you're just hanging out. But they like to see your face. Live videos are also a great way to boost your algorithm. Go live and talk about your favorite recipe or a tip that you have or a mom hack or whatever. But video content is number one. Or if you made a reel on Instagram, you could also like share it. You can share reels now on Facebook. The 8th thing that helped me so much, helps me still, is following 2 to 3 successful Plexus ambassadors, to just get inspiration from how they're posting and how they are sharing about Plexus. That helps me so much, especially when I was newer. I was so bad. I didn't know what to post. I had no idea. Like I like to say like I don't have a very good imagination. Like I just need to be told what to do. But seeing other people's posts is so helpful, because it just like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what I could post, and like you take their idea and you tweak it and you make it your own. Or their stories or whatever. It's so helpful. So if you need ideas of who to follow, you can just ask your sponsor. And I'm sure they have some ideas for you of who you could follow that's going to help with that. The ninth thing is batch your photos. So a lot of times we can go like, we want to go make a post, but we're like, I have no photo to use for it. We know photos are important. That it makes it more personalized. People tend to stop their scroll for a photo, not just text. And so photos are important, and people want to see us, our families, our faces, because they're our friends. Like, they connect with who we are, not just like a random photo from Pinterest or something. So what I mean by batch your photos is if you're like in a cute outfit, you feel cute for the day, or you're getting a pink, or if you're already taking a pink drink selfie, like take some extra ones and just have them there. So that way when you need a photo and maybe you can't get one like in the moment, you can go grab one from ones that you had already saved. If you go out for coffee or you're working your business, like snap a few photos of you like sitting on the floor with like your notebook and like what it looks like when you're working. Just to have saved for when you need them. Another tip with taking photos, you want the natural light to be in front of you. So like if I'm taking a selfie, I want to be able to see my window if I'm in my house, because that's important to get the best lighting. Or I'll even prop my phone up on my windowsill and set the timer and get some selfies that way. So the natural lighting is so important. In your car is a great place for photos, because it's like the light is all around. So natural light, your best friend. The 10th thing is that just to show up consistently. You're posting on social media, you showing up on social media, that brings credibility. More specifically, posting about Plexus, that brings credibility to your messages, to your reach outs, to your follow-ups when you're talking to people about Plexus. They are going to take you more seriously when they know that when they have seen your posts and then they're getting a message from you, rather than getting a message and they're like, I have no idea what she's talking about. And so posting brings credibility. It also builds trust in your network, in your team, when you're showing up consistently. It's like your open sign. Like, you showing up consistently on social media is like, I'm open for business. I recommend 5 days a week. You can do more if you want, but I recommend 5 days a week of showing up on social media is a good amount of time if you're taking your business seriously. So I hope those tips help. Super thankful for social media, because without it, I know I wouldn't be here, and anyone can learn the skill of how to grow and get better at it. And so you got this.